Now moving on to the question number 1, answer the following. A bit takes Sarita's age is to be y years. First bit, what will be her age 5 years from now? Now moving on to the solution. In the question they had given that Sarita's present age is y years. So Sarita's present age to be y years. Now moving on to the first bit. In the first bit, what will be her age 5 years from now? So finding the Sarita's age after 5 years from now is equals to Sarita's present age plus 5. Since we know that Sarita's present age is y years, which is equals to y plus. So Sarita's age after 5 years from now is equals to y plus 5. Now moving on to the second bit. What was her age 3 years back? What was her age 3 years back? So solution for this is Sarita's age before 3 years is equals to Sarita's present age minus 3. Since we have to find out the Sarita's age before 3 years, so we are subtracting the Sarita's present age minus 3 years, which is equals to y minus 3. So the Sarita's age before 3 years was y minus 3. Now moving on to the third bit. Sarita's grandfather is 6 times her age. What is the age of her grandfather? So finding the Sarita's grandfather age is equals to, since they had given that Sarita's grandfather's age is 6 times her age, so 6 into Sarita's age, which is equals to 6 into y. So Sarita's grandfather's age is equals to 6y. Now moving on to the fifth bit. Grandmother is 2 years younger than grandfather. What is grandmother's age? So finding the Sarita's grandmother's age, which is equals to, in the question they had given that grandmother age is 2 years younger than grandfather. So taking that into consideration, grandfather's age minus 2. Since Sarita's grandmother's age is grandfather's age minus 2, which is equals to, since we know the Sarita's grandfather's age is equals to 6y minus 2. Therefore, her grandmother's age is 6y minus 2. Now moving on to the next bit. Sarita's father's age is 5 years more than 3 times Sarita's age. What is her father's age? Now moving on to the solution. Here they have asked us to find out the Sarita's father's age. Since in the question they had given that his age is 5 years more than 3 times Sarita's age. So 5 plus 3 into Sarita's present age, which is equals to 5 plus 3y. Therefore, Sarita's father's age is equals to 5 plus 3y. Now moving on to the B bit. The length of a rectangular hall is 4 meters, less than 3 times the breadth of the hall. What is the length if the breadth is b meters? So now moving on to the solution for the B bit. Here in the question they had given that The length of a rectangular hall is 4 meters less than 3 times the breadth of the hall. Here they have asked us to find out the length if its breadth is b meters. So let us take the breadth of the hall as b meters, and they have asked us to find out the length of the hall. They had also given that length of a rectangular hall is 4 times less than the 3 times the breadth of the hall. So length is equals to 3b minus 4. Since it is 4 meters less than 3 times the breadth of the hall, so we take it as 3b minus 4. So length of the hall is equals to 3b minus 4 meters. Now moving on to the C bit. A rectangular box has a height h centimeters. Its length is 5 times the height and breadth is 10 centimeters less than the length. Express the length and the breadth of the box in terms of the height. In the question they had given that let the height of the rectangular box is equals to h centimeters, and they had given that its length is 5 times the height. So length is equals to 5 times of the height, which is equals to 5 into h. Therefore length of the rectangular box is equals to 5h centimeters, and they had also given that breadth is 10 centimeters less than the length. So breadth is equals to 10 centimeters less than the length, which means 5h minus 10. Since they had given that it is 10 centimeters less than the length, since we know the length as 5h centimeters, so 5h minus 10. Therefore breadth of the rectangular box is equals to 5h minus 10 centimeters. Hence we have expressed the length breadth in terms of the height. Now moving on to the D bit. Meena, Beena and Leena are climbing the steps to the hilltop. Meena is at step S, Beena is 8 steps ahead and Leena 7 steps behind. Where are Beena and Meena? The total number of steps to the hilltop is 10 centimeters less than 4 times what Meena has reached. Express the total number of steps using S. Now moving on to the solution for the D bit. In the question they had given that Meena is at the step S. And they had also given that Beena is 8 steps ahead. So step at which Beena is equals to step at which Meena is plus 8. Since they had given that Beena is 8 steps ahead of Meena, so step at which Meena is S plus 8. So step at which Beena is S plus 8. And they had also asked us to find out the step at which Leena is. So finding the step at which Leena is equals to step at which Meena is minus 7. Since they had given that Leena is 7 steps behind Meena, so we have subtracted the step at which Meena is minus 7, which is equals to since we know the step at which Meena is s minus 7. Therefore, Leena is at the step of s minus 7. And in the question they had also asked us to find out the total number of steps to the hilltop. So finding the total number of steps is equals to, since they had given in the question that the total number of steps to the hilltop is 10 centimeters less than 4 times what Meena has reached. So it is 4 into step at which Meena is minus 10, which is equals to 4 into s minus 10. Therefore, total number of steps to the hilltop is equals to 4s minus 10. Now moving on to the E bit, a bus travels at v km/h. It is going from Daspur to Bispur. After the bus has travelled 5 hours, Bispur is still 20 kilometers away. What is the distance from Daspur to Bispur? Express it using V. Now moving on to the solution. Here they have asked us to find out the distance between Daspur to Bispur, and they had also asked us to express it using V. In the question they had given that the bus travels at v km/h. So speed of the bus is equals to v km/h, and they had also given that the bus has travelled 5 hours. So distance travelled in 5 hours is equals to 5 into speed of the bus in 1 kilometer, which is v km/h. So distance travelled in 5 hours is equals to 5v kilometer, and we have to find out the total distance between Daspur to Bispur, which is equals to, since in the question they had given that after the bus has travelled 5 hours, Bispur is still 20 kilometers away. So 5v plus 20. So the distance between Daspur to Bispur is 5v plus 20 kilometers. After 5 hours it was 5v kilometers, and since it is Bispur is 20 kilometers away, so 5v plus 20, which is equals to 5v plus 20 kilometers. Therefore distance from Daspur to Bispur is equals to 5v plus 20 kilometers.